Oh yeah, I think 9 seasons would probably be my ideal. Like Buddy gets together in this sort of towards the end of this season. Then season 9 is the Buddy season, and it's good, and we all love it. And it's nothing like Scrubs. It's nothing like Scrubs.
You're so right. And also, they can make season 9 have only 11 episodes. And then the 11th episode is the finale. You might be thinking, isn't it kind of poor taste to have 9/11 be your final episode? You could argue that. But the other side of that is that it's 911. And that's
It's
your plausible
911.
deniability.
Exactly. Until, of course, they're on the ground in downtown Los Angeles, and they hit the second fucking tower. But
The finale,
but
the
because
finale of 911, season 9,
9/11
episode
too.
11.
is 9/11 too. But
Wait,
because
okay,
it's 911, we know the finales end in a meteor storm.
They would stop it from happening.
And no, it's a meteor storm. A meteor hits the second tower.
Shut up. I was going to say, because it's 911 and they're wholesome, they stop 9/11. Like, it's going to happen, but then Athena gets on that plane. She takes down the hijackers. She pilots
She's
the
gonna
plane
land
onto the
another
freeway.
plane? Another plane.
She lands the first plane, and then she gets onto the... No, she lands one plane. Bobby is simultaneously landing the other, and they land them coming from opposite sides down the freeway until they stop just in front of each other, and the noses of the two planes like kiss, and it's symbolic.
Oh.
Isn't that? Aw. Come on, guys.
Counter idea.
Okay.
And I'm just throwing this out there. Mm-hmm. They never caught all those bees.
You're so right.
So,
The bees come back. This time it's personal.
the bees stop 9/11, and that's how it ends. And that's
How
it
do they
ends.
stop it exactly? Like, they just make such a dense wall of bees that it stops the plane?
I think what happens is the bees, because we know bees are friends. The bees, they see 9/11 about to happen, and they go to the plane, and they use all their bee bodies to like press up against the bottom of the plane, and they stop it from hitting the tower, and they guide it gently back down to the airport, and the day is saved. And it turns out the bees were friends all along, and they give Buck a big hug, and he's like, oh my god, I'm getting hugged by all these bees, or whatever the fuck he talks.
Is it like each bee individually hugs him with their tiny arms? Or is it like they form into like a creepy, like human-shaped swarm of bees and hug him like that?
No, I like it even better. They swarm into the creepy shaped bee human, and then they shake his hand.
And then they shake his hand. And then they manage to form like a bee set of vocal cords with their bodies, and they say, you need to marry your friend Eddie Diaz, and then that's how the episode ends.
They form into bee vocal cords, and they go, when you believe.
That's good. I was also thinking they would probably talk like that.
Something like that. Something very like ominous, but also like friendly, like the Ents in Lord of the Rings. I think that would be fantastic.
It's like they're sort of intimidating, but ultimately they mean you no harm. They have this sort of grandiose, like unknowable, imposing nature, but it's just because they're like as old as time itself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then they form back off into a bee NATO, and they dissipate out into that good night.
Into the sunset.
And then Buck and Eddie kiss. And the show
And then
ends.
there's the show ends with like a 10-minute explicit, uncensored, hardcore sex scene.
Yes, it's what the people want. It's what the people want. They finally give us Buck and Eddie fucking nasty in the kitchen.
And everybody involved in this show gets banned from ever working with ABC again for pulling this stunt. But you know what? It was worth it.
But you know what? As they're fucking hardcore, it's like just like fucking like pounding into that twink, Hen looks at Karen and she goes, finally.
She goes, I knew it, you know. She goes, finally, you figured it out.
Finally, I thought you'd never figure it out.
And then Karen goes, he's right behind me, isn't he? Is this a good time to... There have been several opportunities to cut off this bit and get into the episode? Should we finally do it?
I think it's run its course. I think it has.
Do you think I should leave it in?
I think you should leave it in. I think it's what the people want. In fact, dare I say it's what the people need. Okay, we're all buddy maxing right now.
Dare I say it's what the beeple want, and the beeple, of course, refers to people made out of swarms of bees.